What's up, guys? Welcome back to Big Logan Channel. I'm your host, Big Logan. This is Peggy, the Pro Master, behind me. If you guys are new to the channel, we've been covering everything from step one, buying the van, laying it out in 3D, doing the subflooring, doing the framing, doing the windows, and doing the early on trim out. So everything's covered in this build series, and today we're covering all the plumbing. So we've got a large 30-gallon fresh tank. We're covering a 15-gallon underbody gray tank, indoor and outdoor shower, and a sink faucet. So there's a lot of plumbing on this episode. We're going to cover it all. Let's get started. All right, guys, another day working on the van. So time to transition into the plumbing for this system. So what I'm gonna do in this van is a 30-gallon fresh tank, and that'll be over this right wheel well here. I need to locate this tank, whatever it takes to get it in there tight, as far to the right of the wheel well that I can get it, and that's where we're starting. It is time to start cutting some wood, making a bunch of measurements, and getting this tank in. Let's do it. So I'm gonna put this little blocker here. This will sit here as a backing plate. This is that removable bracket that the water heater sits on. So I'm gonna mark out where that's nice and snug. That way it's hard mounted back here. And then I'll have a piece just right here. So she's boxed in and solid for the road. But man, it looks really clean in there, really tight. I actually think I have more room than I anticipated on the right side as far as trunk space goes. So really excited. Let's get back to it. All right, guys, so now that we got the tank and the water heater in, I put together this schematic to illustrate Peggy's full-on plumbing system. So what we're going to get into next is the SureFlow pump and accumulator assembly, and that includes a SureFlow filter as well. So with this brand, they do recommend a silencer kit to keep the surging and the pump noise down. So that can go in line between both ends of the inlet and outlet port of the pump or beyond the accumulator. So that's what I'm going to do. These are going to be positioned really closely together. You'll see that here in a minute. All right, so coming off the pump and accumulator assembly, we immediately tee off. So the cold water goes right into the hot water heater, and there's a pressure relief valve that vents, and that'll vent alongside the fresh tank vent as well. Those will be independent. They won't tie into each other in case this tank wants to drain down into this relief valve, so they're going to be kept independent of each other. So coming out of the 4-gallon Bosch water heater is our hot water supply. Now that'll tee off 3 times. One's for the local outdoor shower, which we're going to install right above the water heater. And then it'll tee off again further down the line for the indoor shower system and the OWA faucet. So again, all this stuff will be linked in the description below, all the components I'm using in case you guys want to pick and choose from this or replicate this. So one unique piece of equipment that is offered in the RV market is a sanitary waste valve, which is a dry version of a P-trap. So instead of having your typical S-curve with a water barrier sitting in the pipe, these actually are like a little diaphragm. So water flows through them. It is a directional valve, and those are going to be underneath the shower pan and the sink. So what that does is eliminate the need to drain out or winterize the P-traps. So those will tee in together and flow directly into the 1.5-inch fitting on the top side of the Class A Customs 15-gallon gray tank here. So that'll get mounted underneath the van. Finally, this will have a tank vent as well. I didn't illustrate it off the top here. and that'll just run under the van along the length of this to keep it from spilling out when the van is going up and down inclines. Finally, the 1.5-inch fitting on the bottom of this gray tank is going to house a Valterra 1.5-inch gate valve. We're going to go over that in a lot more detail later on in the episode. This is a pretty unique system. Instead of using an electronic ball valve, we're going to do a manual gate valve with a cable ran into the van. So let's get back to the install and get it going. Working on the 15-gallon gray tank today. Just got some slotted strut, 90-degree angle, and we're gonna run some all thread up to the belly of the van. So just make a little cradle for this bad boy. Gotta cut some angle, bolt it together, make a little cradle underneath, and get it bolted up underneath the van. Let's rock. Just like that, my man Hunter came through. That's the back of the tank. There's our port side right by the spare tire. Probably the hardest part of the project, I'd say, is getting that bad boy in there. Thanks Luke and Hunter for helping me knock out the gray tank underneath. There she is. Looking awesome. Another thing to highlight on our trip to Lowe's today, Luke and I spotted this beautiful 24-volt Mac. Looks like a truck ran over it. Talked to the general manager. It was a regular $100, marked it down to $49. That's a wrap for today. Catch up with you guys soon. Oh yeah. Got a bunch of fittings here. Brass fittings, pipe fittings, barb fittings, drain fittings, all kinds of fittings. And we are gonna make this happen. Gonna be a good day, let's ride. All right, so the supply system's in. Here's my drain shutoff valve. Supply line out of the tank, going to the silencer kit. I relocated the ball valve and the filter down here by the pump. That looks great down there. So there's open flow, there's shutoff, and here's my supply split. Cold, that'll go up here to the shower and the sink, and then split locally here to go to the hot water heater, and split cold to go to the outdoor shower. So a lot of splitting going on in a really small area, but it's totally worth it to have it tucked into that slim, tight little area. So it's gonna look a little jumbled. I do have clamps, tube clamps for everything, but I can get some board behind and lock it in. It's coming along, guys. Let's keep rocking. All right, so here's the main water supply coming off the accumulator. Silencer kit, ID tubing. I don't know if it's any different than just plain ID tubing. Like they assume you may go to PAX or something else other than braided tubing. That's right here, comes right up, splits off to go to the local back shower, splits off to go to the water heater. There's what she looks like. It's super tight back here, but I got good room to put these flex hoses on. Got 90 elbows. 1/2-inch pipe fitting elbows for everything. Here's my pressure relief for the hot water heater. So one thing that I'm gonna do that I haven't seen other ProMaster people do is run the vent tube up behind the taillight housing and about up to here. So when this thing's at a steep incline going uphill, we should be high enough up here with the vent that it'll always be above the line of the tank. Time to make some of the longer runs up towards the indoor shower and the sink faucet. This stuff smells like swimming pool toys. Excellent. The rain persists, so do I. Got this baby all set up here in the garage, got a tarp up. Beautiful day to work. Beautiful day to work on the van. All right, got the plumbing up here under the sink. Now it's time to pop the hole in the bottom of the van. Got the hole saw here, some rust preventative spray paint, black silicone, tape measure. Probably don't need that tape measure though. Pop this hole in. Oh yeah. What's up, what's up? All right, we got the last piece of the sink and shower. This is the shower drain here. Going in around the shackle. Leaf spring to the rear. I hope you guys can see that. So, some adapters and the tank vent is up here too. Tank vents are under the front of the van. That way, in case we go up a steep hill or something, it won't just spill out the back out of the top port and it runs on top of the tank. We're gonna put the final drain down here, but once we get that drain in, it's time to pressure test this baby and wrap this project up. All right, let's do it. Yes, she goes. We got the gray tank installed. We got it all plumbed up. Now we got to drain this thing somehow. So a lot of people use the electrical ball valve. I think commonly 3/4 or 1/2 inch. Well, the size of the ball in there is maybe like 3/8 to 1/2 inch. So I want to do something that in case food bits go down the sink, if the little strainer's not in the sink for some reason, go down through and get into the gray tank, I want to be able to drain that a little more efficiently with a bigger outlet port. So the solution there is actually not so uncommon in the RV world. They use these types of drains for black tanks and I guess for gray tanks. So it's a knife gate valve is what I've always referred to these in industry, like in the pipeline and oil and gas and stuff. This is a small version of that made by Valterra. I'll link this below in the description. So this is an 1.5 inch gate valve. So if you can see this, whenever I pull this T-handle, oh, it's a little tight right now. That opens up a large outlet port. I want to be able to do this. Now I don't want to crawl underneath the van every time we drain the gray tank out. So Valterra also makes a kit that allows you to basically attach almost like a bike brake cable and extend your T-handle. This is an actual handle that when you pull this, look down here, that goes in and out, actuates this unit and pulls it open. Now, I had to get this unit here to get the Valterra square mounting plate and most importantly this male 1.5 inch MPT port. This threads right into the Class A Customs 15-gallon gray tank. The other nice thing about using a big 1.5 inch port like this is you can shove your water hose up inside of that and rinse it out, and you're good to go. So, time to get this unit installed under the van, pop it through the floor somewhere, figure out a place to locate this dump handle. Let's get rocking. So here's the cable running up from inside the plumbing area, right around behind the shower pan, and right up into here. When you pull this handle, it works great. So this will all get concealed, these hose clamps at the T's behind this shower panel. So little service panel here in case any of this stuff is leaking, and we'll have our little T handle in there. Bump, 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 bump. Okay. Fill her up. Oh, baby, she's got some pressure. Nice. All right. So pump test, full system pressure test now. I've got a little RC battery, which is around 11 to 14 volts, hardwired right to the motor. My disconnect switch is unplugging this or kicking it out the back of the van. The only valves I have on right now are this shower and this faucet. So it's been sputtering. I think it's filling up the 4 gallons in the hot water heater right now. But all looks good. Oh, look at this. Yeah! Hot water for days. This is epic. So I think we just purged. All right, so the upper indoor shower is good. I have that purged. I have it shut off now. I have the sink faucet shut off. The one thing I wasn't very sure about, as I am no plumber, was hand tightening these fixtures up here under the faucet, and they seem to be good. You can hear water trickling through the Hep V, and we probably started filling up down here as well. Okay, last one to try is the outdoor shower here. All right, here we go. Grab that bad boy. I don't know which way is open. Hold that there. Oh, magic. It is magical. Faucet's off. We actually pumped a lot of water through the system. Again, no leaks. Hot water heater's filled up now. We're flowing, baby. That's awesome. Hey guys, well that's a wrap for this episode. Catch us back next week. We're going to be doing some more fun stuff. So next on the list in the build series is going to be doing this DIY custom shower pan. That's right. I'm not buying one, I'm building one. So stay tuned for that. Little hint for you, it'll be comprised 95% out of this right here. See you on the next one.